This short presentation is about detaching your identity from your job. And it might hit hard for some of you because it could be a little bit of a wake-up call. And I know this personally because I was that guy who had totally and utterly attached their identity, who I was, to my job. I was Josh Fletcher, the S&C coach, and it was one of the first things I ever told people when I meet somebody new. Hi, nice to meet you. My name's Josh. I'm an S&C coach for dot dot dot, and had this endless and relentless pursuit for a bigger and better badge, logo, and I was super proud of what I did for a living. But to the point where it became obsessive, to the point where it became who I was. I wasn't a partner, an outgoing guy who loved to get out and ride his bike, loved to be active and participate in sport, had all these different hobbies. I wasn't a father, I wasn't any of these things. I was an S&C coach or a performance coach or manager. That was how I defined myself. And what happened to me is probably going to happen to you or has already happened at some point in your career, your life. You get to a point where the job does what the job does, and the industry does what the industry does, and it will chew you up and spit you out the back. Now, you will all know somebody who's been shit canned at some point in their career, especially if you work in sport. By shit canned, I mean sacked, fired, asked to leave, not renewed, strung along, asked to reapply for your own job and not got it, been made redundant. These things happen all the time. And I don't know anybody with over 5 years, around 5 years of experience or more who hasn't had one of these things happen to them. Now, the real challenge comes here when you are so engrossed in what you do, and that is what you do and where you put all your time, your energy, your effort, and your focus, and not into all the other areas of your life and your identity, is that it hits hard when one of those things takes place. And it hits so hard that you end up completely lost because you have no identity outside of what you do for a living. You're so wrapped up in the job. But the thing is that there will always be another job. There will always be more work to do. And we have to have some sort of level of harmony/balance in our life that allows us to be more than what we just do for a living. It's wrapping our heads around this exchange of time for money. Our job is what we do to earn money and put food on the table. It's not who we are. And yes, we want to do work that we find fulfilling, enjoyable, and pays us well and stimulates us. But that can't be all that you have in your life. That can't be all you are. And it's very important that we have a vision, passions, hobbies, and values that fit in line with our work, but also exist outside of the work that we do. And we also can start to think about what are our personal and professional needs and wants. So what do you want for your life now and next? And what do you definitely not want for your life now and next? And start to think about things. Okay, I've got a job, but what about everything else? And what elements of your life does your job control? How would you like to live your life? And how could you perhaps build a career and a job which fits into the life you want to lead? Now, fits into the life you want to lead is an interesting statement because a lot of you guys reading this possibly haven't thought about what is the life that I want to lead. How would I want an ideal day to look? How would I want a week, a month, a year to look? What would it include? Who would be around? Where would I be? What would I be doing? What freedoms would I have? And am I living in line with my values? Do you know your values? If you don't know your values, then it's important to then go away and do some work on what they are and not have them be defined by work. Then we make the discussion, okay, are my values in line with what I'm actually choosing to do to earn my money right now? And it becomes less about I am a manager, I work in marketing, I work in finance, I'm a performance coach, I'm a head coach in rugby, in football, cricket, golf, whatever it might be. And it becomes more about I'm a husband, I'm a father, I am a outgoing individual who likes to do dot 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 dot, who happens to do that for a living. And a really good test is to try to, whenever you meet somebody new, is to introduce yourself and avoid any sort of conversation around what you do for a living for the first 10, 15, 20 minutes of the conversation. See if you can do it. And it might be that you actually don't have enough going on in your life that isn't work related. And that's an area that you can certainly work on. I know how difficult it can be because I was there. I felt the absolute smash down from being shit canned, and I felt that crush my identity. But at that point, I realized that can't be all I am. That because I'm more than that. And that's the point at which I had to zoom in on going and finding out all these other elements that we're talking about here. But you can avoid that smash and you can actually create a little bit more sustainability for yourself professionally when you have an identity that's not tied into your work. Your work is just something that you do. Sure, you can enjoy it. Sure, you can be passionate about it. And sure, you can work hard. But it can't be all that you are because you are not your job. It's just how you're choosing to earn your money at this moment in time. There's a free download which I've got that I can share with you guys as well, which is called the Career Crossroads Guide. It's just a fillable PDF and it will help you to map out what you want personally and professionally now and next, and what you definitely don't want personally and professionally now and next. And it's a great way to start having some of these quite challenging conversations. For a load more information like this and similar content to what we've been discussing in these mini presentation series, you can jump into the Wellness Hub community. It's an online space which I've created, which is going to allow you to interact with other like-minded people and gain insights from people who have been working with the Special Forces, with F1, F2, F3 motorsport, in elite sport, as well as the corporate space. And we've got separate rooms, and it's essentially a well-being library, which will allow you to dip in and dip out and gain very quick, instant access to solutions and strategies to support you with your well-being.